All right, now we're going to talk about cheerleaders. Yeah, Jesse, Tobias, you'll come on up, and those of you with Academia. Back in, I don't know, how many of y'all know where Crystal City, Texas is? Anybody know where Crystal City, Texas is? All right. Well, it's the Spanish capital of Texas. It also has a little bit of a history. It's a place where back in 1969, to be a cheerleader at the high school, there was a requirement that your grandfather or your parents had to have been a graduate of Crystal City High School. Well, because the Latino graduation rate in Crystal City, because the Latino graduation rate was so low at that time, well, that meant that the number of Latinas that could become cheerleaders at Crystal City High School was very low. As a result of that, it triggered a movimiento, the Chicano movement there in Crystal City, which resulted in eventually the replacing of an all-Anglo school board with an all-Latino school board, then the city council, then the county commissioners. And so there is a play talking about that history there in Crystal City that will be opening up at the Academia Theater in Fort Worth. I believe it's next week, December 9th?
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, December 9th at the Academia Theater in Fort Worth, in beautiful north side of Fort Worth. And we're going to have Little Joe's going to be there, and other people are going to be there for the grand opening. And with us we have Jesse Tafaya and one of the participants at the Crystal City, Mrs. Serna. So Jesse, I'll let you start.
Thank you, Domingo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming out to this wonderful event that I started to come because of Academia Theater, and in the future I really plan to attend the Chorizo and Menudo breakfast because Domingo is really one of our leaders in Dallas. Now, what happened in Crystal City is being made into a play by two born and raised Dallas residents. That's Raul Trevino, who is the department head of staff development for DISD, and the other one is Ray Lozano's son, and that's David Lozano, and they were born and raised here. They were not even born when the Crystal City walkout occurred 40 years ago from Wednesday, December 9th, and opening day is going to start at 7 o'clock. What happened in Cristal is that we are all American, and we tried to go through the process. We met with the principal who threw the petition in the trash and said we have to meet with the superintendent. My sister, or my oldest sister in 1969, and her friends went to the superintendent, and he made an agreement with them. And he said, even though you're 85% of the population, and whites are only 15%, we are going to make a deal with you. We're going to have 3 cheerleaders, Mexican American, and 3 white. Crystal City has hardly a very small African American population. We just have a few families there because it's south of San Antonio, 100 miles south of San Antonio. And when my sister and Blanca Trevino and that group, our leaders, graduated and we went back to school, they reneged. They had said we were going to have 1 white most beautiful and 1 Mexican American most beautiful, because in the past they would only they would have somebody like Glenn Campbell select the most beautiful, and for some reason they never thought that brown girls were beautiful. And this has been going on forever. My mom graduated from Crystal City High School in 1947, and this was a practice. My aunt was the first cheerleader in about 1950, and all those years only 1 could be brown. 3 had to be white, and it was an unwritten policy. And the way they did it is that the teachers are the ones that decided who were the best cheerleaders. It didn't always used to be that way, because Crystal City was founded by Anglos, and so when they were the majority, the students would pick their own cheerleaders. But when the Mexican Americans who cleared the land, like my dad's family and my grandma's family, sold meat to all the groceries, and Crystal City's only a little bit over 100 years so. So when we started becoming the majority, they changed it from student elections to teacher elections. So I wanted to be a cheerleader real bad, but there was one other Hispanic girl that was a lot better than me, and I knew she was going to be the token Mexican American. So we wanted more inclusion, and also I was one of the very, very few girls that could be homecoming queen, because most of our parents were migrant workers, and our grandparents also did not go finish school. And if they did finish school, like my grandma, she finished school in Mexico, and then she became one of the first Spanish-speaking school teachers in Crystal City. So it's for those reasons that when the superintendent reneged, we decided we were going to go to the school board. What the school board did was they said, well, you know what, we don't like to meet with students. Y'all are a bunch of radicals and troublemakers. We'll meet with you, but bring your parents. They thought that the Mexicano community would not come to support their children, because they felt, well, they don't go to PTA meetings, they're much less not going to come to the school board. Well, guess what? The whole city, grandmas, grandpas, everybody was there. We asked them, can we have it in the cafeteria or in the auditorium, because we are going to bring our parents and grandparents. And they said no. So we were in a very small room, just about those few tables there. And what we did is we surrounded the school board, because we had hundreds and hundreds of people there. And we are a small town, but I don't know where so many people came from. And we opened all the windows, and so they really got intimidated. We were on the agenda. They put us in the back of the very last of the agenda, and then after 2 hours of talking about contracts and where they were going to buy pencils and who they were going to give the business to, we sat there for 2 hours, and then right after that, they said, okay, I think this meeting is adjourned. And Armando Trevino, Raul Trevino's older brother, who is one of the directors of this play, this Crystal City 1969, said, wait a minute, we're on the agenda, we're supposed to talk. They said, oh, we've already discussed it, and in one little paragraph they said, we have found no discrimination in Crystal City High School, meeting adjourned, all in favor. They got up, started leaving, and we all started crying. It's real sad to see your parents and grandparents crying, because lack of respect and dignity. They would not even acknowledge American citizens, because my grandparents were born and raised here. My grandma was born in Floresville in 1902. So some of us had been here longer than some of the Yankees that had just gotten there and were, treating us like second-class citizens. So right when we were all crying, we went outside, and my dad said, well, ellos mandan adentro, pero nosotros mandamos afuera. So my dad said, they decide inside in there, but we're the ones that decide what we're going to do with our children out here. Walk out. And when I heard my dad say walk out, I really didn't want to walk out. The night before, I cried and I prayed that they would listen to us and to be fair, and it's the American way. I believed in America. I believe in America, and there's no country like this country. And all we were doing was demanding our rights, equal educational opportunity, and the opportunity to be cheerleaders, to be homecoming queens, which is what what your children want today as well. So the walkout was very successful, but there were many sacrifices. Thank goodness that we were supported by Washington, and we met with Senator Ralph Yarbrough, who was called the People's Senator. This is us in Washington. I was only 15 years old. Mario Trevino, the uncle of another producer of the play, Raul Trevino, was 16, and the oldest was Severita Lara. Because remember, my sister in the class of 1969 had graduated thinking that they had at least gotten half and half white and half Mexican Americans. For